Dang, that is a nice shot to start things off here. We are back with some more Red Dead 2, more specifically Red Dead 2 Epilogue with John Marston. This is actually our 75th part of the main series now. I feel like popping a bottle of champagne and celebrating, but I feel like champagne and Red Dead 2 don't go very well together. I know champagne and The Sims definitely doesn't go very well together. Don't ask. Anyways, we kind of took a step back here. Missions were kind of coming at us rapidly, and we were really sticking to it. But we've kind of taken a step back here, and we're doing a little bit more exploration. We're doing some exploration of Blackwater, obviously a big city that we have yet to visit until this point in the game. So I felt the need to kind of to do that, take a step back, kind of map everything out. There's a few different businesses and whatnot that I want to check out in town. We're a little poor right now, and so I'm going to do a bounty poster mission to try and make a couple bucks here in Blackwater. Definitely got our work cut out for us a little bit here, but Red Dead is such a dynamic game. And I mentioned this in a comment. The tasks and priorities in Red Dead are kind of constantly shifting. And quite rapidly. So, at the end of the game there, it was just kind of missions to open the epilogue, same kind of thing. But that's kind of expected, and as I mentioned in part 74, now it kind of feels like the game is opening back up for us again. So back in Blackwater, obviously a town that we are very familiar with, having been a key focal point in the original Red Dead Redemption. So there's the Ansel Atherton mission. Now, there's a couple things worth noting that I think are important from the newspaper that we bought in the last video. I had a feeling there would be some important things to note coming out of this particular issue. It's really the first issue from this year. What is it, 1907? First issue that I can purchase that's not one of the issues from Arthur's time. So we went through a lot of the things, but there's a couple things that I missed. So we'll see if we can pop it open here. Try and find a quiet place maybe to read the thing. So Ansel Atherton is the contact at the bank that Mr. Geddes told us to go meet to get a bank loan to try and purchase some land here near Blackwater. In the newspaper, there was a mention of an Abel Atherton, interestingly enough. So there's got to be some sort of a relationship there, and I guess we'll kind of see how that plays out. Also important to note that the Laramie thugs, who were responsible for the attack on Pronghorn Ranch, they were hired by a Mr. Abel. We heard Mr. Geddes and one of his sons mention it must have been Mr. Abel after the attack at Pronghorn Ranch. So could Mr. Abel be Abel Atherton, the mention of the name that we saw in the newspaper? Let me try and find that here real quick. No, I'll find it. I think this is the one here. Yes. Headed by Abel Atherton, the Cattle Association seems intent on remaking the West, having recently acquired Hanging Dog Ranch and a considerable number of acres around Strawberry. Small farms disappearing. So that's interesting. Could that be Mr. Abel? And maybe he's using thugs as a way to remake the West as we know it in this time, remake the Wild West. So that's very important. Could he be related to Ansel Atherton? And also important to note, somebody commented on my last video that Mr. Geddes perhaps maybe. It's suggested that Mr. Geddes is potentially related to Ansel. So that's the contact at the bank. And again, we'll probably find out a little bit more about that once we do that Ansel Atherton mission. Also, this one, where was it? Right here. The romance novel proves bestseller. Leslie Dupont's fourth tome. Ooh. Sure, I guess I'll autosave in the middle of reading the paper. Published under the pen name Leslie Dupont. Pen name. So that's interesting because there was somebody at our camp who was an aspiring novelist, Mary Beth. So that makes that particular newspaper article a little bit more relevant. Just wanted to point a couple of those things out here. What? Mysterious writings?
Hey, you good?
I know it's really dark. That's weird. There are some strange writings on the wall in this alleyway, and John Marston recorded them in his book.
How you holding up?
Who's this then?
Doing fine. Just fine.
Glad to hear that.
I'm not entirely sure what the importance is there. Let's do kind of a recap of things here in my journal, just to kind of get an idea of where we're at.
Hello?
Taking a slow one, huh?
I earned a break.
God, I hate it when people are talking in the background. I think we ran, that's like very introductory in the epilogue here, so let's just go back a couple pages. Right, so we know Abigail obviously left John, gave me enough warning, I suppose. She weren't wrong. I'd leave me if I could. What now? No son, no woman, and a no-good rancher on a no-good ranch. These rich bastards, the Laramies, want old Geddes dead. If I had a brain, I'd go work for them, but I kind of like Geddes. Saw Sadie Adler again. Guess I thought she'd been dead. Maybe it's just me that's been dead. I don't know. Was good to see her. She's a bounty hunter and suited to the work. Saw her put a knife clean through the hand of some big old boy she was fighting with. Ain't seen her since she and Arthur saved Abigail. And then Arthur saved my life. We headed north and she turned to this line of work. Obviously Sadie is a bounty hunter now. Met a nice man taking photos of animals. Albert Mason, amusing and lost and completely unused to the country, trying to take pictures of all our biggest animals before they all got killed off themselves by the new century. Yeah, he got robbed by a coyote, but I got him his bait back. Apparently, that particular Stranger mission was available as early as Chapter 2. But, again, never really came out this way very much. So I can't really do anything in town. I wanted to maybe get a bit of a cut, check out the photo studio, the show, just to kind of get an idea of what Blackwater has to offer. We already took care of the newspaper. Hopefully I covered most of the major points from that paper. If there's anything else that I kind of missed that you think, is important to note, definitely holler at me and we will address that in the future. Other than that, if I made a lot of money from this bounty poster, I could definitely check out the tailor, but I'm not too worried about my clothes at this point. Ammo-wise, I think I'm okay. So I just want a little bit of money to check out some of the amenities, and then we can jump right into the Ansel Atherton mission. I think that's a great game plan. That's the only main story mission that we have going on right now, and we know anyways that that's kind of the way that the epilogue is headed here. We've addressed a lot of that, so... It was so funny in the last part we were talking about having not done a bounty poster mission in a long time, and now obviously this one popping up here in Blackwater, timely considering how out of money, how poor I am right now.
Howdy.
Indeed.
So I hear.
Seems like a very sophisticated town.
How do you do?
More so than Strawberry and Valentine. So the Ansel Atherton mission at the bank is just to my left right now. But we're going to the sheriff's office for this bounty poster. Lord knows John Marston spends a lot of time here in the original Red Dead. We got a bit of a wicked storm brewing. Christ, I might recognize the sheriff's office. I probably will. It's funny, you know, you don't play a game like that for, 7, 8 years, something like that. Whoa, look at that lightning out there. And then you come back to a town in a video game you played 8 years ago, in a different video game, and you recognize it. It's definitely a strange feeling. So this is likely the sheriff's office, I guess.
You look like an honest enough feller. If I could interest you in bounty work, the poster's on the wall.
Thanks, Chief.
Well, at least it's kind of honest work.
Officer.
Hello.
Yeah, John's definitely going to be throwing a few gentlemen in those cages. That's for sure. So here's our first bounty poster in a long time. So it's a $90 reward. That should be a good start for me in the funds department. $90 reward for the apprehension or death. So we can apprehend him or kill him. Should be the same reward of Elias Green. He is wanted on warrant for murder and mutilation of 6 settlers near Manzanita Post. He is a member of the Skinner Brothers gang, who we encountered, I believe, for the first time in our last video, and is considered extremely dangerous. Well, he mutilated 6 people, so I would imagine so. Last seen in the Great Plains area. Green is stocky and wears animal skins, bear hat, and buckskin shirt. Oh, Dunbar Blackwater Police Department.
It's a sorry situation with them mongrel dogs, the Skinner brothers. Just when you thought this country had been civilized. You hear what they done up near Tall Trees? Might be where to look for them, if you can stomach it. I don't think you'll be bringing him in alive, but sure as hell I'd love to spit in his eye before he hung.
So Elias Green is going to hang anyways for his crimes. Obviously not a very well-respected man. That's kind of putting it mildly. It's good money if we can get it done here, and obviously I'm not going to be afraid to just open fire and shoot the guy, but in this time, I guess, hanging, like proper, just a proper justice for his crimes should be served, and I guess hanging would be viewed as the appropriate punishment, not just a bounty hunter getting to shoot him. Bet you all those deputies want him in the cell. I'll do my best. What the hell? There's some guy yelling for assistance over here.
Oh my goodness! You ain't seen the last of me! You are a gentleman, sir. Please, take this for your trouble.
That's kind, mister. Thank you.
You were good to help me, and I never forget a favor.
Well, in my hunt for money, that turned out pretty good for me. I just noticed there are some more mysterious writing on the walls here, supposedly. It's very dark, very hard to see. I'm gonna get John to just copy it down here into the book. So it looks like there's a series of these writings, maybe to be found throughout the Blackwater area, throughout some of the different alleyways around Blackwater. So that could be something worth pursuing. It's kind of weird. I'm not too sure how many alleyways are around here. That's the first set of ancient characters. Horse, you don't have to follow me into the alleyway. So that alleyway didn't have any mysterious characters.
Good day, senor.
There's these mysterious characters, but I don't think that they count. Might need some help on this one, guys. You know, is it something worth pursuing? I guess the best way to do it would be to kind of systematically go through each alleyway here in the Blackwater area. Okay, nope. That's the Ansel Atherton mission. We're just gonna casually walk away from that at the bank there.
Look out!
Hey, try going around people.
Shut up. Can't tell if these are alleyways that I've already been in or not. I feel like I've already checked some of them out.
Weather sure is fine today.
Well,
There's the theater. You can hear the show going on inside there.
Come on! Out of the way!
No bueno. Okay, so we're going actually not too far from here, the Great Plains. So this is an area of our map that is still kind of shrouded. We're definitely going to be cracking it open a little bit here. Man, uncharted land that we're just hitting in the epilogue of the game. How about it? So this is another Morgan horse. I haven't owned a Morgan horse since my first horse, Morgan. If that isn't confusing enough. I've named it Thief because I stole it. I know the names keep getting more and more clever. Just wait until Thief dies. Wait until I show you what I got. I love that I've just kind of assumed at this point that the death of Thief is on the horizon. I don't like it because the John Marston looks kind of disproportionate to the horse. Typically, you know, you're on a kind of a bigger horse, and I don't know, it just looks more normal. John looks like he's riding a little pony around. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. That's a Shrek quote, in case you were wondering. Anyways, let's keep the maturity level to high standard here. Shouldn't have too much more to ride out here. This is interesting. The Great Plains. There's our blind friend again.
Any for the blind.
I'm gonna pass this time.
Any for the blind.
Again, this is all completely uncharted territory, so forgive me for kind of sauntering in here. I should probably, I mean, I never go into these situations well equipped. I never like pre-equip my weapons, like take a second to equip what I know I might need. I guess, yeah, definitely Litchfield. I always like to take a repeater in with me, and then probably something with a scope in case I need to snipe this ass. We'll take the, no, that does not have a, yeah, scope. Yeah, that's got a scope. Oh boy. Oh shoot. Please don't eat me. A cougar. It's not something that we've seen too often in the game. Not one of the more commonly found animals to this point in the game, in my personal experience and playthrough. I got a good pelt out of it, and I got some meat out of it. Which is obviously helpful. Not that I have a gang of people to support anymore, but I do anticipate we'll just kind of slowly start to hear from more and more previous gang members. We've already encountered Sadie. I imagine we'll probably come across many more old members of the unit. Excuse me, sir, you might not want to ride up this way. There's a dangerous man who's skinning people, mutilating people. Please exercise caution. Shouldn't really be too far.
Easy now.
So Elias is going to be somewhere in this vicinity. I'm going to try and crouch by one of these trees and see if I can get a view of the forest. Just kind of scan and see if I see any signs of anything. As long as a cougar doesn't attack me. Oh.
I'm gonna
Who's
shoot
that?
your guts out.
Well, look who's got a yellow belly.
I think they saw me. Are they coming for me? Or did they ride off? They sent my crosshairs red. Set my crosshairs red, so I'm thinking they may have been bad people. Let's get a little bit closer here. Yeah, that was weird. Looking for a tent, smoke, anything like that that might indicate kind of a human presence. It's raining now. That should help to maybe cover my tracks and my sounds a little bit more. Damn, it's pouring rain. How big is this area anyways? It's actually a fair size. I'm gonna actually head this way. I've seen zero signs of anybody so far. I feel like I'm on an episode of Man Tracker. OLM, look it up. Nothing, thief. I got nothing. I'm gonna need you for this one, buddy.
Hey.
So really, I've explored kind of this whole section here, so let's just ride along this road here, see if we pick anything up.
Whoa,
Okay,
easy.
Caught a glimpse of a campsite in this direction, so we're gonna head in and investigate it.
Jesus. Who'd do a thing like this? Hello? Not here.
Obviously deserted, and not only deserted, but people that were here were brutally murdered. Obviously suggesting that this was an act of Elias Green. Who knows how long ago he did this, but he could very well still be in the area, so I got the chills. Look how close to the road, like, he basically did this. Oh. We just heard some gunshots from this direction. We gotta take this guy out and quickly. Every minute spent looking for the guy is another minute he has to potentially brutally murder somebody. Okay, we're getting close now. This is Skinner territory. I'm not too familiar with the Skinners. We went through a lot of the gangs in Part 74, kind of refreshing and reacquainting ourselves with the Del Lobos gang and the Skinners, and talking about some of the other gangs that we've encountered. But these are the Skinners, and I made a note last time about how many natives, the high native population within the Skinner gang. Excuse me, man. We got some more gunshots. Oh, son of a gun. Go, go, go.
This one's still breathing. All the better. Hold him.
Please, please let me go.
You got to get that bastard. One that shot.
There he is. I'm gonna try and capture this ass alive. The one thing about the Skinner group is that they hide, they use bows and arrows a lot, and kind of old-fashioned that way. It's annoying. Get an arrow stuck in your shoulder.
Come at me if you dare, big feller. You won't take me.
Oh shoot! I gotta get back on my horse and I gotta chase this guy down. Where are ya, thief? Thief!
Where'd you go off to?
Oh, son of a gun. Oh man, I went. Thief is too far away from me. Ah, I drifted too far. Damn it. I should have had my lasso. Oh. God damn it. I need to sharpen up my bounty hunting skills a little bit. That's what I think. Do we still have a bead on him? Yeah, surprisingly, he hasn't covered too much distance. I was able to get a couple shots away, so it is possible that he's kind of critically wounded, but not dead. Come on, come on. Thief, for the love of God. Very treacherous terrain. It's gonna be tough to work my way back. Whoa. To him. Get up to some higher ground here. Oh, there he is.
Why don't you come a little closer?
He's back on foot at least. Damn it. Yeah. That's how we do, my friend.
Since I caught me a wriggler.
I'll cut you. I swear I will.
I really thought I was gonna have to kill the guy.
Let's see what you got in here.
He still has some friends fighting back here. Holy Lord, I have no idea how I saw him. That should buy me a little time to get this guy on my horse. Now, one thing that's characteristic about catching guys instead of killing guys.
I'm gonna bite you.
You better, damn not. That was a nice hat you was wearing.
I'll make you into a hat, mister.
I would love to see you try.
Typically, you'll get people from like this guy's gang that will try and
There you go.
cut me down before I can get back to Blackwater. So I'm expecting a potential counterattack here. this would be a nice catch. I was really convinced there that I was gonna have to kill him.
Feeling up there? It ain't a smart man. Turns his back on
Shut
me.
up,
I'm gonna... Do give it a rest.
please. I do not want to hear your ugly voice. Yeah, this would be a nice catch. To Catch a Predator, John Marston edition. I like it.
You got a wife somewhere? You smell like you got a lady.
Shut up.
You may get a wife of your own in prison.
Yeah. You can be some man's wife, prick. Man, he was a tough one. Toughy but a goodie.
Pain, mister? Real pain? Screaming, crying, begging pain.
You bet I have.
I will put you to a fire. Have you praying for death. Eyes all wide, mouth quivering. I get you. You're gonna suffer, mister. Suffer!
This is the start of a good relationship between John Marston and officials in Blackwater. A good business relationship between John Marston and the sheriff's office in Blackwater. I can't remember the exact story behind the first Red Dead. There's definitely a lot of... Shut up.
They won't know what to do. Live is how they're getting you. With a few bruises.
Yeah, a lot of bruises. Don't remember exactly what goes down with Blackwater and if we end up on good terms with Blackwater, just in general with the folks. I think stuff begins to turn south at one point a little bit, but I'll take the 90 bucks. Abigail might not be too happy that I've chosen to go the way of bounty hunting. A man's got to do what a man's got to do, and helping that guy in the alleyway paid off too. I made about $13.40 some odd cents there, so that was done kind of timely for me as well. Once I make this 90 bucks, we'll just check out those few amenities that we wanted to check out, and then we have nothing else to do but the Ansel Atherton mission, so 'tis what we shall conquer. It's a bit of a ride back, but it's not too long, and look how much more area we were able to explore here, and there's still some area down here that we can kind of scroll over to, so I'm a little bit skeptical that we have a lot more to explore down there in the southwestern portion of the map, especially with this talk of New Austin now, which also showed up in the newspaper. Obviously, that's a territory that we have not come across yet, so I'm sure that's coming up soon. So there's the jail. That's obviously where we are headed back to for our payment. Detail and intricacy of each of these bounty hunting missions alone is quite impressive. Definitely makes them worthwhile.
Blackwater Police.
Like in this mission, coming across the camp, all the men this guy slaughtered. Every bounty hunting mission is not just go find this guy. You know, he's just standing there, and then you chase him down and catch him and bring it back.
I'll bite you. Yeah.
What's with this guy's obsession with biting?
Not so good right now.
Oh, I don't like this.
Well, got you that Skinner, brother. Elias Green.
Set me down.
Elias Green, as I live and breathe.
Damn it.
Put him in a cell.
You ain't got a rope strong enough for me, Sheriff.
Justice will be done and done quick. Lock him up.
Any chance I can witness it? Should get a front row ticket to this event. Forget the Imperial Theater. It's time to watch Elias Green hang. Well, that's that. Now, just gonna go collect our funds, our payment.
That man ain't worth spit. But here's what we're paying for him.
You don't mean that, do you, Chief?
I'll take it.
You're making an old chief's life a little easier, you know? How about coming back in a while, picking up another poster?
You can't kill me, Chief! I can't be killed, and I won't be!
Ain't much I got to achieve in life except in seeing you hang, Green. Enough.
I feel like we finished Red Dead 2 with Arthur, and I like subconsciously purchased a new Red Dead game where we're controlling John Marston now, and somehow the two got switched, and I started playing this game without even knowing it.
Can I help you?
No, I'm just gonna walk behind your stall. Don't mind me. I don't know. He's like, yeah, don't. There's more bounty posters, and I'm like, man.
Hello?
So there's already another bounty poster available, but this one is going to be located back in Strawberry. There's still, there's one that's opened up now in Rhodes, and there's a third one that's opened up in Saint-Denis. So they are going to require a heck of a lot of travel, but I should be able to do the one in Strawberry for sure. That one will be pretty much a guarantee for me because I'll have to head back and see how Abigail, I guess Abigail and Jack are not really around anymore, but I'll have to go back to Strawberry for something at some point. That seems the most realistic to complete. The other ones, that's a heck of a ride. Those are going to be maybes for now. So we've made our money. We've made about just over $100 in maybe the 30 or 40 minutes since we started playing. Not bad. It's enough to get the job done on some of the things that I wanted to accomplish. So that's going to start with, I feel like the general store were pretty good. Actually, you know what? We'll go general store, we'll hit up the show, and then we'll hit these two icons real quick, and that's it. General store, just to get some health cure. So ammo-wise, I'm pretty good. If I were buying ammo, I'd probably buy it from a gunsmith anyways. But health cures. So interesting enough, all my weapons and all my ammunition carried over from the Arthur Morgan, from my time with Arthur Morgan to John Marston. All that stuff carried over, but a lot of my health tonics, stamina tonics, dead-eye tonics, that kind of stuff did not carry over. So typically I don't think they're too expensive. We'll check it out here though and see what we can get.
Why, hello.
How you doing?
He's testing my resolve these days.
Welcome back.
You know, I used to be quite the apple blossom back in my day.
Old Getty's
So yeah, this general store does not sell clothing. Clothing can be purchased at the nearby tailor.
Or Laramie, I ain't sure.
Typically, well, not typically, but a lot of general stores do sell clothing in some capacity, but there is like a designated tailor in Blackwater. Blackwater is a fairly large place, all considered. It's not Saint-Denis large, but it's not really like a tiny. I don't think it's tiny. It doesn't come off that way. Not like a village. So health cure. basically until it's sold out. Then we know that we're full. Miracle Tonic is great too. We'll sell them out of that. Snake Oil is good for Deadeye. I really run out of that. Might as well grab some bitters while we're at it. I won't buy quite as much of that as I would the Health Cure and the Deadeye. Stamina has never concerned me as much in this game as health and Deadeye.
Well, it's here if you think quite. Try us again sometime soon.
Maybe I just don't push myself as much as I could to run out of stamina more often. But I've never really found the need to go, hey, I need a tonic to replenish my stamina. Has never really been a thing. I drink health cures all the time, and I've drunk snake oil and miracle tonics a few times to do health and Deadeye.
I hope they paying you.
So, yeah. That's good now. Got all my ammo back, got all my tonics back. Like I said, it's like starting all over again. So we've seen some interesting, well, we've seen an interesting variety of shows in our journey across this wonderful and vast land. We've done everything from like that lantern show or whatever it is that they have over here in the Valentine region. That is the Traveling Magical Lantern Show to catch a thrilling picture. It's the latest word in entertainment. All the way to multiple different shows that are on in Saint-Denis. Saint-Denis is so big that they have multiple theaters, multiple different kind of entertainment venues. Now it's time to explore the Imperial Theater, newest addition to Blackwater's entertainment scene using electric lights and motion, incredible realism of an animated motion picture show. This ought to be interesting. I feel like I'm a movie reviewer, like a critiquer, going around to all these different venues and like, ooh, let's see what Blackwater has to offer. Makes me feel very posh and important, don't mind me. Well, here goes nothing. John Marston doesn't really seem like the theater type. Arthur Morgan seemed more like, now that's who seemed more like the theater type. Arthur seemed like the kind of guy who would love to go see a nice animated motion picture. John?
Would you like to see a show?
John should be out there shooting guys in the head and stealing their horse. Alright, I'll buy a ticket. Actually, give me some info.
Something you might enjoy. Direct Current Damnation.
Sure.
Need a ticket, please. The show is right behind you, through the doors.
Find an empty seat here. Alright, here goes nothing. Which would you prefer in your home? Crazy that we're talking about the implementation of electricity. And comms women. Message has been brought to you by the Atlantic Electric Company. Well, that was one hell of a motion picture if I've ever seen one. 1917, Jojo Rabbit, Pandemic, Parasite, Joker. I always call Parasite Pandemic. Why is that? They're no best pictures. That was the best picture if I've ever seen one. Alright, so just gonna go across the street. There was a photo studio in Saint Denis. I never really checked it out, so I just want to see what that's all about. And then we'll hit up the barbershop here, just kind of get a bit of a clip while I have some money. And then, like I said, we've pretty much done almost all the exploring there is to be done in Blackwater. Again, aside from those mysterious writings, but perhaps I can maybe do a little bit of research, and perhaps my viewers can point me in the right direction on this one with those mysterious writings. Get at least a little bit of a lead. So this is the photo studio.
Welcome to my shop.
I haven't really familiarized myself with photo studios in this game. I guess it's just a place where you can have photos of your character taken in different funny poses and stuff like that. Let's see what it's about. Request portrait.
Would you possibly take my portrait?
John, again, Arthur, no, he would not want his portrait taken. Did we ever get a portrait taken with Arthur? And no. John, on the other hand, definitely, he's a guy that would own a selfie stick and would have 3 Instagram accounts, including one for his dog. Okay, so we can change expressions.
Just let me know what you're thinking, background-wise.
To me, he's not changing his expression at all, but I guess maybe John Marston is just an expressionless person. Okay, so change pose. We can switch things up. Hey, there's the John Marston we know. This waterfall thing is really messing with me, though. We need a change of scenery here. Let's try something different. All right, hold that, Marston. No, what the hell is this? Ancient Greece?
And the destructive fires of Mount Vesuvius.
I'm gonna say no.
Oh, yes, this one suits you naturally.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad one. What else do we got pose-wise here? No. 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 Alright, pointing his gun it is.
Remember, you'll need to keep still for this.
So it's $5. He'll take a photograph. Can I shoot? Oh. Because my ammo is showing up there, so I was tripping out a little bit. I thought I could actually shoot my gun while I have it pointed here. Alright, so we'll take the photograph. Oh, and then I guess he'll continue to kind of take shots and whatnot. So what becomes of those photographs? Is that something that I hold on to in my satchel? I'm not entirely sure what becomes of my photographs.
I'll be needing to close the studio sometime. Quite enough of that, then.
I guess it's getting late. I should probably get a haircut while they're still open.
Looking for a trim?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. Again, maybe somebody can clarify what that whole photo studio thing was all about. Is it just kind of more of something that's fun, or can I actually access that picture? Does it end up in my journal? Like, I really don't know here. There's those mysterious writings kind of in better light there on the page, just on the left-hand side. Alright, again, this is all stuff that, you know, I feel like I haven't taken care of since we began our new saga here with John. He's kind of grown out quite a bit. Multiple months and years have passed, so he's got quite a growth going on here, both on top of his head and on his chin, so you just need to take care of that a little bit. We can take his hair and just trim it right back. That way we're not really changing the style at all. We're just kind of trimming. That's where he's at right now. And that's what we would kind of take it back to. By the time we get back to being with Abigail, assuming that happens, we're able to get this loan, get this land, get Abigail and Jack's trust back. I want John to be looking his best for that. I don't want him to look like he just received the 10 Commandments on top of the mountain and was struck by lightning and the Lord's words were lived out in the mountains for 18 years. He's got to clean himself up a little bit. So it's like a buck to trim me back. Nothing wrong with that. And then facial hair. So same kind of thing here. We're at a 7 out of 10 right now lengthwise. So we can take that all the way back. That would be a 1, which is not quite clean shaven. Damn, look how much different John Marston looks. We got to give John a little bit of facial hair. 7 is a little bit too much. I feel like we might actually have to... Okay, so I trimmed it a little bit. I feel like that's probably a good length right there to trim it back to. Then at least you can still see that nice scar on John's face, a real defining characteristic. So my mustache is slightly shorter than my chin and chops. That's alright. That's cool. I basically just wanted a trim. Alright, so that's pretty much that. We've seen kind of what Blackwater has to offer.
And you said...
My cores are doing okay, other than my Deadeye. We know that it's already drained. I'm wondering if I should sleep and get a bite to eat before we go see Ansel, just to make sure that the integrity of this mission is not compromised. I don't want John to be exhausted and hungry when he goes to meet this guy. I want this guy to have a good first impression of John. So, and probably better to see him in the morning than it is in the evening like this. It's 8:23 p.m. I doubt that the bank is really even going to be open here. So we'll head back to the saloon. We'll rent a room, get a bite to eat that way, and then go see Ansel Atherton in the morning. I believe there is a new newspaper available, so that's something that we should probably go through again soon. I'm sure there will be some pertinent info.
Oh. Think I have one too many.
You got any rooms? Sometimes customers come in to forget their troubles and end up forgetting how to walk. Is there something I can get for you? Hope you're hungry.
Had a really nice peach cobbler last time. This time we went with the prairie chicken.
How are you doing? Just fine.
And I must say, it's fairly impressive food here. So morning. That way we can go to the bank. All right, so we're familiar with Blackwater. We kind of familiarized ourselves with areas just outside of Blackwater, the Great Plains. We made some money. We kind of got ourselves established a little bit more in the Blackwater area. We haven't been to Pronghorn Ranch and to Strawberry in a while. We haven't really had to rely on Mr. Geddes to support us. We're kind of this is the start of us kind of getting out on our own. I feel like a guy who just moved from small town country to the big city, you know, moving from Pronghorn Ranch here to Blackwater. That's what this move kind of feels. And although this is not my permanent home, Pronghorn Ranch is still kind of listed as my homestead, as my camp, if you will, right now. You know, that's base camp, but we're struggling to survive in the town of Blackwater. I just noticed that Albert Mason, the Arcadia for Amateurs Stranger Mission, which is a branch of Stranger Mission that we started in the last part, needs some further help with his wildlife photography. That ought to be interesting. This is the set of missions that I said actually opened up way back in Chapter 2, but we have not done any of it until now, and now we're doing it as John, so... Do you think maybe going to the bank, do you think maybe I should wear something a little bit more appropriate than this attire? First of all, I did clean myself up, so we should probably go with no hat. I know that John is probably going to feel like he's naked, but... Basically, I think I just want a dress shirt here. He's got the everyday overshirt. This is the French dress shirt, and there's a couple different styles here. Just like this white one is cool. We're going like full pro here. None of this amateur BS. All right, we're going with some pants. What are we thinking? I'm thinking we go with some fancy pants here. We're going all out. Forget them ranch pants. I actually kind of like that. That's nice. Wow, finally, having no gloves on our character. I was beginning to wonder if the developers of the game actually had included hands on characters as part of the game. That's good enough. We cleaned up John's appearance a little bit before we go see. This is big. I feel like John's going to a job interview here.
Morning, sir.
And I feel like I'm his dad sending him off. He's dressed like no John Marston we've ever seen before.
It wasn't even the expensive stuff either.
Well, ain't that something?
Thanks, partner. Good morning to you.
Beautiful day today.
Yeah, sure, it's a beaut. Would you mind not nipping at my heels?
Morning.
Hey. How you been? No complaints from me.
Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
Yeah.
I'm looking for Mr. Atherton. I'm a friend of Mr. Getty's over at Pronghorn Ranch.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Atherton is in his office. Hey, please head in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I help you?
I hope so. I want a loan, sir. A line of credit, so I can buy some property.
What property?
An old ranch, Beecher's Hope.
That old dump?
I know it ain't much, but I ain't much of a farmer either. But I will get there.
That is a very unusual way of asking for a loan. Mr.
Marston.
Marston.
Only folk around here call me Milton. It's kind of a joke, I guess.
A joke, huh? And which folk?
Mr. Getty's. I work for him. He said that you could help me out. I mean, if you can.
So old David Getty's told you I'm the kind of man to loan a man with two names money so he can buy a rundown farm on account of his lack of farming skills, huh?
Don't sound too promising when you put it like that.
Well, how would you put it?
Sorry to waste your time, sir.
Oh, sit down. I'm sure we can figure something out. Now, of course, we'll be expecting you to make regular payments, and given a lack of much evidence you got any means of repaying, the terms won't be too great. But if my cousin vouches for you, it'll be okay with the bank.
Really?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Now, of course, we'll be expecting our money back regular as clockwork until the debt's settled. Otherwise, the farm reverts to the bank, no matter how much you paid.
I understand.
All right. Well, why don't you go check out the land while I fix the contracts and talk to Mr. Getty's. Oh, I heard there's squatters up there. We've been having so many problems recently they'll need clearing on.
Sure.
Well, come back when you're done and we'll fix up the paperwork.
Well, that is something that I should be relatively good at, clearing the land of squatters. Alright, thief, you and me, baby. Let's do it. So, that's actually the end of that Ansel Atherton mission. I guess that was just kind of introductory to get us kind of acquainted with this Ansel Atherton, this contact that Mr. Getty's referred us to. So he suggested that we go check out this property that John wants to purchase at Beecher's Hope, and he's going to talk to Mr. Getty's. I found it interesting that John used his actual name, Marston, but I guess, you know, he wants this loan so bad. You could tell how nervous he was, and you know, he's never been in a professional kind of situation like that, talking to a banker, so he didn't even really know what to say. But you know, hopefully this works out for him. You know, and then he's saying, well, you know, other people call me Milton. Some folk know me by Milton. I mean, he's just making this poor guy more and more sketched out about giving you the loan. But we can make this work for sure. We'll make this work for John, and let's get him his family back. Most importantly, so let's ride out, and we'll hit up this Ansel Atherton mission right away. Man, if Abigail saw us all dressed up like this, she'd just about have a stroke. So this property is a little ways away from Blackwater. It's a short ride, really. We're kind of getting a feel for that right now. Nothing too crazy.
here. Okay. Lord have mercy! Oh, hey, come back! Oh, no!
Well, sucks to suck, I guess? It sounds like a you problem, my dude. I got a bunch of me own problems. There's the cougar that I killed not that long ago, and would you look at that? It was right by my the property that I've been eyeing, and I didn't even notice. Beecher's Hope. Well, this is certainly not what I was expecting, but this is it. We got some squatters.
Can I help you, friend? This is it!
That's what I'm talking about. Quaint? I'm sure it would definitely be a cozy home for Abigail and John. Tight living quarters, but what the hell else do you need in 1907? You don't have a 60-inch flat screen TV to put up on the wall and a PlayStation 4 to mount to the table next to it.
Ah, it's you, the man with 2 names and no past. Come on in. How'd you make out?
Well, let's just say there are no more squatters.
Okay. Well, I got your paperwork ready. Now, you sure about buying this place? It's really run down, and the price isn't too great.
I think it would mean a lot for my wife. At least mean I was listening to her.
Okay. Well, sign here and here. Mm-hmm. Now, we own you, Mr. Marston, and we own Mr. Milton, too, and we own your property. But you can buy your freedom each week. Eventually, you will be a homeowner.
I understand.
Congratulations, you are now a real American, indebted and owned by the bank. I'm joking, they own me.
Amen.
They just own your property. Now, you can also use this line of credit for any home improvements you need to make, of course.
I can?
Sure. Be good, Mr. Marston. Welcome to home ownership. It's a beautiful thing. Let your wife know what to complain about. Just joking.
This is a big thing for John Marston. This is like,
It is you.
Oh,
well,
no way.
I thought you was dead, boy. Dead.
Uncle?
The very same. Come here. I saw you going into the bank, and by the looks of things, you ain't robbed it.
I've gone straight.
Oh, bull crap.
No, for real. Well, I'm trying.
All these years, you ain't changed a bit. Maybe a little bit. I thought you was dead.
Not yet. Well, I got some things to take care of.
No, not a problem. I'll come too.
No, you don't have to.
Oh, I'm real sick, John. Lumbago. It's a slow and painful death, my brother.
Evidently.
Have a little pity, will you? Huh?
Come on, then.
All right.
I'm ready,
Look how much.
Marston, come on.
Look how much bigger his horse is compared to Thief.
Boy, follow me.
Okay, so here's another member of the gang from John's past that we are encountering. This time it's Uncle. I was going to say this is a big step for John Marston to take, getting into home ownership, real deeds, doing a real agreement with the bank, getting involved in the real world outside of being an outlaw. That's a big thing for John Marston. And obviously we know things are going to go awry a little bit because we still got the whole original Red Dead to play out with John as a gunslinger. But it's good to see John trying to focus and set things straight a little bit here after everything that's happened. We'll see what Uncle has to say. He might have some information about other folks from the gang, and more importantly, we want to hear about Micah and Dutch. Hopefully they are in a galaxy far, far away.
West.
West? Oh, God, ain't you a man of few words? I can see we're headed west. You know, speaking in monosyllables don't make you seem interesting. It makes you seem stupid.
I don't care how I sing.
Well, now where west are we headed, you damn grunting fool?
This ranch I bought just now.
Is that what you were doing in the bank? Spending all your money? Oh, on a ranch in the armpit of West Elizabeth. Oh, my lord.
Not that that's any of your concern, but I was in the bank borrowing the money.
Well, that's even worse. Yeah, you can run from a bounty, John. You can't run from a bank. Is Abigail there?
No. She's, her and Jack are waiting until I'm set up before joining me out here.
You mean she left you? Oh, I never thought she was a smart woman, but, you know, this makes me think maybe I was wrong.
No more of that. I just bought this place, and you're lucky I'm showing it to you and not looking for a place to bury you out here.
So far, everybody that we've encountered from our past here are still kind of involved in I don't know, they're not necessarily involved, like, they're not outlaws like they used to be, but they're still kind of not necessarily set straight, you know? They're still kind of living rough and tough lives. I mean, Sadie Adler is a bounty hunter, which, you know, is a legal practice, but, you know, that's still a very rough and tough gig. Obviously, Uncle, oh, there's our dead cougar again. I'm just gonna kick it on the way by. Obviously, Uncle, you know, still doesn't really have it together, and I bet you most of the other people, Micah and Dutch, are probably still involved in criminal activity to some capacity, so interesting that John is the one that's really going out on a limb to set things straight. But it makes the most sense because he is really the only one in the gang with any stakes. I mean, he's got a wife and a child, so.
This is it. Look at her.
Okay.
What do you think?
Why exactly did you buy this dump?
For Abigail?
Why? Is she an idiot? No. What were you thinking?
I don't know. She said she wanted it.
She ever seen it? What are we gonna farm here? Rocks?
We?
You don't have a hope here without a wise hand at the tiller.
Enough of that. Get out of here. On your way.
No, you're stuck with me. Means I'm stuck with you. John, the rock farmer.
So, you think I'm an idiot?
No, I know you're an idiot.
Epilogue Part 2, here we go, Beecher's Hope. Pronghorn Ranch is no longer home. Look at this. Nice. Holy mackerel. So, mission complete. Home of the gentry. Before he can purchase Beecher's Hope, John must inspect the land and move on any illegal tenants. Back in Blackwater, he runs into an old friend. Not sure if Uncle helped me at all with the renos. It seems that I got a notification there about some sort of a bank loan. $405 or something like that, but that is not currently in my wallet, so I don't know if that's funds that I can access later, or if that's basically the funds that John spent to kind of fix this place up a little bit. You can see the length of the fence that he had installed around the homestead. It's incredible, the work that John accomplished. I'm not exactly sure what the time lapse was here with him working on the property, but this is now officially our new home, Beecher's Hope. It's where we stay. Looks like Uncle is still with us. Looks like he did indeed help us get this land prepped, and looks like maybe all that's left to do is try and get in touch with Abigail and Jack and get them back on our side here. And look at the proximity to Blackwater. You literally could not live in a more convenient location. You're like a 5-minute ride down. It's about a 5-minute ride down the road from you, and it's got everything you could possibly want. So I think we're gonna leave things here because we definitely have our plate full, even for next time. I still want to investigate the mysterious writings in Blackwater. I'm gonna try and do a little bit of a research. Maybe you can as well look into it a little bit. There's something going on with these mysterious writings, and obviously we need to delve into that a little bit more. There's definitely a little bit more to it. We found 2 sets of mysterious writings in alleyways throughout Blackwater. There has got to be a little bit more to it. So we've got to play Detective Sherlock here a little bit and try and figure this out. It's been suggested to me that the Arcadia for Amateurs Stranger Missions involving Albert Mason here is a fan favorite of Stranger Missions among fans of Red Dead 2. That's how it was referred to me. So I do want to make an effort to go up to Watson's cabin here, just kind of north of Strawberry, to complete that. It's not too far away from Pronghorn Ranch, so at least it's still a familiar territory to us. So those are 2 things that I want to take care of. If we could do the bounty poster in Strawberry, that would help us make, potentially up to another $100, maybe even more, depending on how much. If we need more money, if we absolutely positively need more money, there's more bounty posters in Rhodes and Saint Denis. But for side stuff next time, that would be it. The mysterious writings, Albert Mason, and the new Strawberry bounty poster. But I guess it would make most sense to start off next time with this Uncle mission, seeing as how, we're kind of already here. So that's what we'll do next time. We got our plate full, lots to keep us going. Hopefully, I cleared everything up. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to let me know, as I know you always do. hit me up on PSN. I always put the link to my PSN ID in the description below. So definitely you can always hit me up on there. And subscribe, obviously, if you haven't already, so that you know when new stuff is coming your way. Now that we're in a new part of the epilogue, this might be it here. This could be the final part. We're at 81.4% completion. I have a feeling that we're getting pretty close here. I know we're not going to hit 100% because I know for a fact we didn't get everything in the game, but you know, I would say it'll probably be between maybe 85 and 90%. Not bad all considered, but we're definitely winding down here. Yeah, definitely stay posted with the launch of my vids. I should be able to keep up with it, and we should be able to finish this series within the coming week or two. We've already made some good progress over the last couple weeks, and then I got some new exciting stuff planned for you. So stick with it here on Sweetfish Plays, and it will surely pay off. From all of us here, we will see you on the other side. And stay safe out there too.